Hi there, and welcome back to yet another feature video. Today we want to talk about the CROLabs Advisor, our AI-powered CRO analysis for your landing page. As you can see here, this is kind of the dashboard that you would see in the Advisor tab. So all the previous Advisor runs that you did will be listed here. So if you want to start a new Advisor run, I would recommend you to start with the brand profile. So what you want to do is you want to add a new profile and you want to give it a profile name. So for that brand, for example, your consumer brand, and give it a brand description, and then include the voice, the audience, and the positioning. This is very important if you want to have an accurate output from the advisor. So what you do is you give it tone of voice, formality, what kind of language, how are you addressing the customers, what tones to avoid, what words to use and what words not to use, and then also what's your audience type. Is it B2B, B2C, or both? What kind of segment are you working in? And then also positioning, what kind of industry are you in? What are your main competitors? And then what's your price positioning? Is it premium, is it mid-market, or is it the budget sector? And once you included all the data, you will click Save Profile, so we can then start running the advisor. Assuming you created a brand profile, we now want to run our advisor. So you click New Analysis, and then this is the view you're left with. So on the right, you get a summary, what URL you have selected, if you're using desktop or mobile, if you have a brand profile connected, and if you included any campaign data. So what I did here is I connected Canva as an example, so we can do the advisor run with the Canva website, the main website. You want to view from the desktop perspective. Then the user intent, so we gave it some context here. We wanted to improve conversion rate on our main website. This is the user intent. Here is the point where we would include the brand profile. This costs us an extra 2 credits. Since we don't have it saved here, fill it manually now. We don't know what the Canva brand profile is. We will let the advisor analyze it, and then we can save it afterwards as well. So that's also one way. So I will deselect this one, and I will reselect the include campaign data. Also a very interesting part right here. Very important if you run a big ad campaign. And then if you want to have specific look at what does my Google ad campaign do compared to my website, or what does my Meta ad campaign do compared to my website. So you enter a campaign name, an ad group name, keywords that you're targeting, ad headlines. So what are the headlines that you are using? What are the ad descriptions that you're using? What is the landing page goal? If you have a specific product page in mind that you want to test, then you would include the product page above where you select the URL. And then you would say, landing page goal is that a person buys my product. If you have a SaaS, for example, then you would say my landing page conversion goal is that we have a free trial sign up or a paid trial sign up. Performance hints is optional. Here you can select your click-through rate. So this right here, your conversion rate, your quality score. This is a metric that is used in Google Ads, so it's 1 to 10. And then your bounce rate in percent. And if you have put in everything, you can just run analysis. I will not include any campaign data since we don't know what Canva is running in terms of campaigns. But then you would run the analysis for Canva. Right now this consumed 10 credits and is running in the background. So what the advisor does, it scans your whole website. If you put campaign data in, it scans the campaign as well and tries to match the messaging of the campaign, for example, to the messaging that you have on the website. As you can see here, it is now capturing screenshots from the website. So it takes screenshots and then afterwards analyzes the screenshots and what is written on the website. This takes a little while. Once it's done with the screenshots, it then takes the screenshots, analyzes them, and gives you recommendations and hypotheses. So the AI agent will have a hypothesis that it gives another agent to validate this hypothesis. So there's a continuous improvement loop. So the output that you get is the most optimal and best practice output that you have for your website. So the advisor is done now. So this is the view you will see once the advisor is done. We see here, Canva got a score of 74 out of 100, which is already pretty good. And in the overview section, we will get an estimated conversion lift. So a conservative rate of 8%, a realistic rate of 15%, and an optimistic rate of 22%. Then you have an executive summary of everything that we will look at in a second. And you see the screenshots here again that it took during the analysis. So you know exactly what it looked at. So the first informative section is the SWOT analysis. You get strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So in the strength section, obviously everything is listed that you're already doing well. In the weaknesses section is everything that you should improve. Opportunity section is everything that you might be missing for now. On the other hand, the threats section looks at things that are external factors. For example, the first one here, competitors with a strong authority signal may appear more professional to enterprises or business segments. Once you read the SWOT section, you will get the quick wins section. In here are 18 quick wins. So these are identified recommendations that have a relatively high priority, but a very low effort level. So something that can be changed with a low effort and has a high impact. So a quick win. And here we have the analysis section. So first you have the page data, as you can see right here, with the loading time, the page height, the DOM nodes, and the cookies. And a loading time of 2.8 seconds for a website this large with these many images is pretty good. So you also see something that is a little more SEO relevant, but also relevant for you, your page title and your meta description. Then you see the analysis context. So what did the advisor understand is your business, and what did it analyze? In this case, a SaaS landing page is correct. The primary goal is user registration and product adoption, also correct. The industry is graphic design and software, check. And the target audience are small business owners, individuals, marketing professionals, and educators, also correct. The brand voice is empowering, creative, and accessible, also correct in my opinion at least. And then you also get the typography, the primary brand colors, and the brand profile that you can save down here for your next runs. And after you scanned for all of that, you come to the probably most important section, the recommendations. We differentiate between actionable and advisory recommendations. Actionable recommendations is everything that you can select and directly include in your experiment. Let's go with the number 7 of the actionable recommendations. It says new launches showcase. So as we see here on the screenshot, it also surrounded in red on the left-hand side. It's a very small screenshot, but it's selected in red so you directly know what on your page is actually being targeted here. So the original is explore the collection, and it proposed browse Zootopia template. And the rationale behind it is also listed here, as well as the hypothesis behind it. So what you do is you select it and then scroll all the way to the bottom. You can either create a new lab, so a new project where this version is directly included if you haven't already done so, or add it to an existing lab. In this case, our Canva lab or project. What happens then is it is directly as a new version integrated on your website. You can directly allocate some traffic to this version and start testing this version. And this is possible with all the recommendations on here, at least the actionable. Let's now look at the advisory recommendations. So these are things that cannot be directly edited within the visual editor. So that's why we don't make them actionable. These are recommendations that you need to change on your website. So for example, this one on the feature showcase. The current state is that the tabs have small text and icons, which might be difficult to interact with on mobile devices. The recommendation is to increase the minimum tab target size for tabs and bump the font size to 16. And then it also gives you a rationale on it. Users need to be able to switch between segments easy, and this is why the advisor gave it as an advisory recommendation. So as you can see, we have 45 recommendations for this website, all categorized by priority and impact, so it makes it easier for you to know how to prioritize the changes and what likely impact this will have on your conversion rate if you change it. So this is everything you need to know for the CROLabs advisor. If you have any questions, reach out to us. I will also include a link in the description where you can book a short demo call completely free of charge, where we show you how to do this for your website and how this can improve the conversion rate on your product. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you and bye-bye.